Yeah. Matty, good to see you on the back of a long trip, but it was worth it to get a clean sheet and a point.
Yeah, I think the way that we kind of defended, to go to a tough place, where they've been over the last couple of years, some of the players that they've got. So it was a hard fought point. We defended really well, and I think, like I say, we can build on it now into 2 games this week.
Yeah, and to keep that clean sheet run going 3 in a row now, to keep the unbeaten run going, that's 6 in the Championship now. I mean, how important was that, and what can you take from it?
Yeah, I think it's a big positive. A clean sheet in this division is really difficult. I think it's now, like I said, the performance at Ipswich was really good, but can we kind of turn it into a win? Certainly in these next couple of games, it'd be really valuable points for us. And I think that, the confidence that's in the team at the minute is really, really good. The competition is as well. So hopefully, like I say, we can build on this game tomorrow night.
2 home games to come this week. I mean, you've been here when there's been some big nights and big results and big performances as well. Like Coventry, Charlton, there's been a few more recently. I mean, does it feel more like that again now after what was maybe a trickier start?
Yeah, I think everybody was desperate for that kind of first home win at the start, and I think we probably deserved more out of a couple of the games. But I think now, hopefully, we can make this place, kind of a really difficult place for teams to come. It's going to be a difficult game again tomorrow night, but hopefully, we can come away with the 3 points.
It's hard to judge what people might have thought of Wrexham in terms of their prospects this season, people from the outside, but do you think now that they've seen what you're capable of, maybe it's not that they weren't taking you seriously, but they definitely are taking you seriously given what you've done?
I think with Wrexham being the way it is, and the kind of the talk of a lot of different places in the country, and I think that every time we kind of turn up to play a team away or a team come here to play at home, there's always a lot of talk about what Wrexham are doing and things like that. But for us as a team, as a group, we're just focusing on the next Championship game, and I think that's the main thing for us. Hopefully, we can keep building on the performances that we've been putting in, and make it about us, and not worry too much about the opposition. We respect them, as we always do, but make sure that when they do come to the racecourse, that they're in for a difficult night.
And in terms of that point at the weekend, you're actually only 3 points off the top 6 now, despite being down in 14th. Does it feel like this is a massive opportunity this season? Yeah,
I think the Championship League is always, crazy. I think that you can always be touching distance and sitting, 16th, 17th before, and you can be just as close to the relegation zone. But I think for us, it's, I mentioned it there, then it's our next game. It's our next opportunity to get 3 points on the board. It's our next home game, and hopefully, we'll go out there and put a performance in.
On the next home game, a team you know very well, had a really strong start to the season as well.
Yeah, I mean, Bristol City's been, it was part of my life for kind of 3 years. I loved it. I really enjoyed my time there. The fans, the staff, the players, everybody there. I enjoyed. It was living in a different part of the world, a place that I'd never really kind of been to before, and I did really enjoy my time. And it was a bit of a shame the way it kind of ended. But like I said, it's the opponents tomorrow night. I look forward to seeing some of the boys, and hopefully we come out with 3 points.
I appreciate your focus is on Wrexham, but does it feel like at Bristol City you've been there where they've been building playoffs last season, and they're in the top 6 now as well? Does it feel like they're on the cusp of something as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think the city's kind of ready. They've got a really good training ground. They've expanded the stadium. They're packing it out every week. They've invested into some good kind of talented players. Like you said, they've built over the last couple of years. So I think that's probably going to be their aim as well. Tomorrow night they're not going to come here and kind of be pushed over. They're going to come here for a battle, and obviously make sure that we're ready. But like I said, I'm looking forward to the game.
And you mentioned the competition for places. It's probably the same in every part of the squad at the moment, but that midfield battle is quite a battle. How difficult is it to stay in that team? Because you've done it remarkably well.
Yeah, I think for us as a group, it's really, really healthy, because the competition for places means that every single day you've got to be on it in training. When you do get an opportunity in the game, you've got to try and put your stamp on what the gaffer's after, what the staff's after. So I think for us as the midfield lads, it's really, really, it's really, really good for us all. I'm just trying to play as many games as I possibly can, put the performances to make sure that I make it as difficult for the manager to keep me in the team.
Thank you, Matty.
No problem.
Do you see that as a big opportunity this week then, Matty, with 2 home games? Because obviously the home form is such good at the moment as well.
I think when you've got 2 home games, you know, it's so close together. I think you know, the main thing is we focus on tomorrow night first and foremost. But I think, you know, we all enjoy playing at home. You know, like you said there, the home form's been really good of late. And you know, our aim is to try and keep that going. You know, once a team turns up here, they need to make sure that they're in for a difficult day.
Every win is important, but that win against Coventry, we're flying still as we speak now. But that must have done wonders for confidence. I know there's a few more games to go, but that just shows you can go toe to toe with the best. And as you did at Ipswich away.
Yeah, I think we've shown that. You know, we can compete, and you know, you said it there, toe to toe with top of the league at that point, and you know, they're still doing really well at this moment in time. So the performance that we put in that night was excellent, and then you know, I think we backed it up in certain other games as well, and that's something that we are striving for. You know, more consistency, more points on the board, more wins, and hopefully, like you said, there are 2 home games now. If we can do that, we'll be in a fantastic position. Yeah,
you'd never turn your nose up at a draw, especially away from home like Ipswich. But a few more wins, maybe being critical. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you know, we always want to win football matches, but also I think at the same time, you know, you can't turn a point down in the Championship. You know, and I think that's one thing that we've kind of got to remember as well. You know, Ipswich is a difficult game. You know, place to go. I think they've just scored 8 goals in the last 2 games before they played against us. So for us to get a clean sheet against them was really, really pleasing. I think, you know, we've talked about, you know, could we have been a little bit better in certain situations? Could we be a little bit more positive in other ones? But I think, you know, overall we take the point. We move into two home games. Focus on tomorrow night first. Hopefully come away with 3 points and then move on to Saturday.
Thanks, Matty.
Just one more if I can, Matty. Sorry, the manager's just mentioned that Andy Cannon, Danny Ward and Jay Rodriguez are all being phased back in from injury. I mean, how nice is it to have them back? Yeah,
I mean, you know, having been there, you know, I've kind of had a good chat with Andy over, you know, the last few months, having done that injury myself, and it's an extremely difficult one. You know, so I'm over the moon for him. I think us as lads were trying to stay as clear as far away from him as possibly can in training, just to make sure that he kind of gets his feet back. You know, Wardy's back out on the grass there, which was a nasty injury for him as well, and obviously, you know, J Rod there, for him to come back, he was, you know, a massive part of last season, and he's been very, very unlucky with the start of this season. So it's fantastic that all 3 of them are coming back. It's always nice to see injured players and ones that have been out for quite a long time to come back into the squad. So really pleasing.